The Coalition cutter's engines thrummed to life as Talon Vayer strapped into the observer's harness. Alarms blared. The pilot, a wiry cragthigh named Jor, punched the throttles. Hull plates groaned under acceleration. They breached the border beacon in seconds, straight into the human sector. Talon activated his console. Data streams flooded his screens. Stellar cartography overlaid the void ahead. A dozen systems, unmarked, unclaimed. Coalition charts labeled it empty zone. No colonies. No trade lanes, no signals. His mandibles clicked in skepticism. Emptiness like this defied galactic norms. Transit time to first waypoint, 12 hours, Jor grunted over the intercom. Stay frosty, analyst. Humans don't like snoopers. Talon ignored him. He initiated a wideband scan. Passive sensors first, low yield, low profile. The cutter streaked through the outer system past a gas giant's rings. Nothing pinged back. No automated buoys, no distress transponders. Zero civilian traffic. He cross-referenced Coalition databases. Standard interstellar density predicted 4.7 million transits per cycle in a sector this size. Observed. None. Statistical anomaly spiked to 99.999% improbability. Talon flagged it for his report. Silence isn't absence, he muttered. It's a pattern. Hours ticked by. The cutter followed the pre-plotted lane, a narrow corridor flagged by Human Border Command. Talon pulled up historical logs. Coalition vessels entered here once a month for diplomatic audits. All returned clean. No incidents. Too clean. Active sensors itched at his controls. He resisted. Protocol demanded restraint in human space. Rumors swirled in intel briefings. Primitives with fusion torches, barely warp-capable, yet they held this frontier alone. Talon dismissed it. Data would prove quarantine inefficiency, not mystery. A new signal cut through his feeds. Faint, harmonic, from the lane's edge. Talon zoomed in, electromagnetic chatter, encrypted, high volume, not human standard. He logged it. Jor, adjust course 0.3 degrees starboard. I need better resolution. Negative, crackled a new voice. Human, female. Commander Mara Kincaid stepped onto the bridge, her vac suit scarred from micrometeorites, short-cropped hair, eyes like targeting lasers. Power down active sensors, now follow the lane. Talon's crest flared. He outranked her on paper. Coalition oversight trumped border warden. Commander, I'm auditing transit anomalies. This requires obedience. Kincaid loomed over his console. Her gloved hand hovered near the master kill switch. Narrow lane keeps us alive. Deviate and you paint a target. Jor froze at his station. Talon scanned her biometrics, heart rate steady, adrenaline baseline, no fear, just fact. Target from what? Your charts show vacuum. Kincaid's jaw tightened. Power down sensors. Talon waited. Data over protocol. His goal burned, debunk the fearmongers back home. He nodded once. Screens dimmed to passive mode. The cutter held course, but the harmonic signal nagged. Faint life signatures flickered beyond the lane, delta wave clusters, biological, not machinery. Talon isolated a tight beam array. Coalition rules allowed emergency pings. This qualified. He keyed a micropulse, narrow cone, deep space, life scan only. 1 second burst. Silence answered. Then chaos. Kincaid slammed the emergency blackout. Lights died. Consoles went dark. Emergency reds pulsed. The cutter tumbled into stealth drift, engines cold. Jor yelped. Talon gripped his harness as Zero-G spun him. Predators, Kincaid said. One word, flat, final. Talon's hearts hammered. Backup power cycled on minimal, shielded. His ping data buffered just in time. Returns flooded in. Hundreds of signatures, massive, coordinated pulses, not random migration, hunting pack. What did you do? Jor hissed. Talon patched the feed to the main hollow. Blips swarmed the sector's edge. A nebula cloud previously logged as stellar debris. Shapes resolved, biomechanical hulls kilometers long, moss-warm vanguard, shipeters. The galaxy's nightmare collective, devouring fleets from the Rim Wars onward. Impossible. Intel placed them 200 light-years coreward. How? This is human space, they don't breach here. Kincaid strapped in beside him, her fingers flew over manual overrides. They try every cycle. She vectored the cutter back to lane center, silent thrust, ion only. We contain them. Talon's scans deepened. Swarm signatures layered the void, not empty, caged. Transit lanes snaked through kill zones, minefields masked as asteroid belts, gravitic snares in debris fields, human pickets cloaked stations, dotted the map now that his ping pierced the veil. Dozens. Automated lethal. Why hide it? Talon demanded, his voice cracked. Coalition could reinforce. Kincaid snorted. You'd flood the cage, stir the beasts. She tapped a comm panel. Low band burst to the nearest picket. Response pinged, acknowledged. We built this trap. Layer by layer, they learn slow. We adapt faster. The swarm shifted. Probes detached, scouts probing the ping's origin. Talon's console flagged contacts, 3 closing at 0.8 C. Hulls iridescent, edged with consumption maws, Jor-powered weapons. Torpedoes hot. Stand down. Kincaid's comm sliced the panic. Lane defenses engage. Talon watched feeds, pickets activated, silent at first. Then Bloom's plasma lances from empty rocks, swarm scouts shredded mid-void, debris vectored into recyclers hidden in the gas giant's shadow. Efficient, ruthless, routine. One scout grazed the lane, Talon braced. Kincaid didn't flinch. A human drone, fist-sized, unremarkable, launched from the cutter's bay. It burrowed into the scout's flank. Seconds later, the beast detonated from within. Clean kill. Doctor. Sato's design, Kincaid said. Breaches any carapace, we seed 'em everywhere. Talon's mandibles trembled. Data rewrote itself. The empty sector pulsed with activity now visible. Human wardens cycled patrols. Bait drones lured packs. Containment fields herded the swarm toward kill corridors. Statistical silence, deliberate blackout. No traffic because no one survived deviation. Admiral Voss's task force waited beyond the border. Arrogant, status-hungry, they'd charge in, claim glory. Talon keyed a tight beam warning. Static answered, jammed by swarm interference. Too late for that, Kincaid said. She plotted evasion. Your ping woke the vanguard. Armada follows. Sensors screamed. Hyperspace scars tore open, dozens. Mossworm main body, billions of tons devouring momentum. Coalition charts lied. This wasn't migration. Invasion vector, Talon's audit shattered. Humans didn't hold the border, they owned it. Calm, competent, wardens of the galaxy's worst. Kincaid locked eyes. Welcome to the cage, analyst. Strap in. Real work starts now. The swarm closed. Human defenses hummed to life. Talon gripped his console. Data screamed truth. The sector wasn't empty. It never had been, and his sensors just weren't allowed to see. Show me, Talon demanded. His claws stabbed the console. Manual display, lane navigation rules, now. Commander Kincaid didn't flinch. She swiped her screen. A holographic grid snapped into view between them. Cutter's bridge lights flickered across its edges. Talon's sensors interfaced. Data flooded his implants. See the markers? Kincaid pointed. Her voice stayed flat. Beacon lanes only, deviate and your meat. Talon traced the lines. Coalition charts showed void. This grid pulsed with restrictions, invisible buoys, kill zones marked casual. His mandibles clicked. Fabricated, prove it live. Kincaid's eyes narrowed. She keyed a command. Beacon test, luring stragglers. A pulse fired from the cutter's nose. Low-yield signal, mimicked distress. Talon's scopes locked on. Seconds ticked. Then a blip. Unseen contact edged from the lane's fringe. Mossworm scout. Fringe feeder class, jaws wide, hyperspace scar trailing like smoke. Contact confirmed, Talon muttered. He logged it. First live data. The scout lunged, veered off lane, toward the bait pulse. Nothing moved. Sector stayed empty. Talon waited. His primary hearts thudded. Then it happened. A dead asteroid split open, cracked like an eggshell. Rail spines erupted. 50 meters long, magnetized barbs. They speared the scout mid-lunge, pierced carapace, locked, reeled it in. Talon's scopes zoomed. The asteroid no turret sealed shut. Scout thrashed. Silent kill, no debris scatter. Routine containment, Kincaid said. She tagged the wreck. Salvage drone launch. A drone detached from the cutter, fist-sized again, Dr. Sato's breed. It burrowed into the snared scout. Seconds later, detonation, clean erase, wreck vaporized. Turret asteroid went dormant, blended back into the field. Talon recorded every signature, rail spine alloy, power curve, firing sequence, his data core word, patterns matched. Hundreds of asteroids nearby, all dormant, all armed. The entire sector, he whispered, mandibles locked. Hidden infrastructure, not empty, a cage. Kincaid leaned back. Told you, wardens don't advertise. Alarms blared, swarm vanguard hit the outer markers. Hyperspace scars ripped wider, billions of tons incoming, devourers massed. Coalition task force still jammed out there. Admiral Voss blind, Talon's claws flexed. Your lanes hold. Most days, Kincaid plotted micro-jumps. Swarm adapts, eats fleets for breakfast. Sensors pinged. Another beacon test auto-fired, deeper in, lured two more scouts, twin asteroids cracked open, spines flashed, dual kills, drones erased. Talon watched, data rewrote the grid, thousands of turrets, containment fields, bait emitters, herder drones, all cloaked. Human patrols seeded it years ago, silent, efficient. Why hide? Talon asked, voice edged with awe. Kincaid shrugged. Galactic's panic, coalition audits like yours, they poke swarm notices, we contain quiet until now. Vanguard breached Lane 1, maw behemoths kilometer long. Jaws grinding debris. They consumed a marker buoy, adapted already. Kincaid triggered response. Containment Protocol Alpha. Asteroid field woke, dozens split, rail barrages lit the void, spines punched carapaces, behemoths reeled, drones swarmed breaches, internal kills. One behemoth thrashed free, charged the cutter. Evade, Talon snapped, his console bucked. Kincaid rolled the ship smooth. Hold! A herder field snapped on, invisible net, yanked the behemoth off vector. Into kill corridor 2, turrets there mass-fired, spines overlapped. Shredded it, salvage drones cleaned. No trace, Talon's implants overheated, stats poured in. Kill rate 98%, swarm vanguard halved in minutes. Humans cycled drones like clockwork, no waste. Dr. Sato, Kincaid hailed, tight beam to engineering bay. Vanguard heavy, ramp drone production. Affirm, Sato replied, voice calm, tools clinked behind him. Breacher loads at max, seeding now. Drones launched in volleys, burrowed into swarm flanks. Detonations rippled. Scouts popped like blisters. Talon keyed his log. Human sector engineered trap matrix. Predator containment operational. Coalition assumption error. Main swarm hit. Scars tore full. Armada scale. Devourers linked. Momentum unstoppable. Kincaid's hands flew. Shift to beta lanes. Analyst strapped down. Talon complied. Acceleration pinned him. Cutter danced through markers. Turrets covered. Spines volleys escorted. A devourer clipped a buoy. Adapted spines deflected. It veered, chased. Close, Talon hissed. Kincaid grinned faint. Sato bait drone, heavy yield. Drone spat. Mimicked Cutter's signature. Devourer bit. Internal breach. Sato's payload cooked its core. Wreck tumbled into corridor 3. Turrets finished it. Swarm learned, formed wedge. Jammed fields, pushed lanes. Talon's scopes showed Voss's force stirring. Finally breaking jam. Admiral charging in, glory hungry. No, Talon transmitted, burst warning. Cage active, evacuate. Static, Voss ignored, task force jumped lanes, wrong ones, sensors screamed. Voss's lead cruiser deviated, off-grid, asteroids split, spines impaled, cruiser shredded. Containment auto-fired, Talon recoiled. Friendly fire? Rules are rules, Kincaid said. No deviations, Voss knew the brief. Coalition Rex fed swarm, devourers gorged, grew, Kincaid cursed soft. Adaptation spike, Sato overclocked turrets. Risky, Sato warned, but doable. Rails hot. Barrages intensified, sector hummed, infrastructure strained, kills mounted, swarm slowed, Talon gripped rails, data confirmed, humans built this. Layered, redundant, apex wardens, galaxies predators, pets on leashes, vanguard remnants scattered. Herded to outer sinks, drones pursued, main armada faltered, scars flickered, overextended, Kincaid plotted intercept. One push, finish it. But a mega devourer emerged, swarm queen, 10 clicks, jaws hyperspace warped, ate a turret hole, alarms peaked. Queen vector, Talon yelled. Queen class, consume stars. Kincaid nodded. Sato, queen killer ready? Fabricator's word, Sato's voice cut through. Deploying, fist-sized won't cut it, rail penetrator, drone, manual guide. Drone launched, bigger, spine-shaped. Talon watched scopes, queen adapted fast, jaws snapped shut, missed. Adjust, Kincaid ordered. She piloted drone feed, steady hands, swarm closed ranks, protected queen, turrets diverted, cleared path, drones baited guards, queen lunged at cutter, Talon's hearts raced. Impact. Kincaid dodged, drone struck true, burrowed queen's maw, penetrated core, detonation bloomed, queen split, swarm chain reaction, billions tons vapor, silence fell, scopes cleared, Kincaid exhaled. Containment holds. Talon stared, data final, sector intact, predators caged. Humans, wardens eternal, but deep scans pinged. Faint scar, swarm echo, not gone, burrowed. Kincaid's eyes hardened. Round 2 incoming, gear up analyst. Talon nodded, awe settled. The cage tightened, first real test began. Talon's claws scraped the deck as he bolted after Kincaid. Her boots echoed ahead unhurried. The cutter shuddered, residual vibrations from the queen's detonation. Scopes still pinged that faint hyperspace scar. Burrowed swarm echo. Round 2. Commander, Talon barked. You can't dismiss this. That was a Queen-class moss-worm devourer, billions of tons, and you— Kincaid halted at a sealed hatch. Plenty more where that came from, analyst. She punched an override. The hatch hissed open to vacuum-tethered darkness. Maintenance platform. Disguised as debris field. Move. He hesitated. His suit sealed with a click, thrusters fired. He jetted after her into the void. Debris tumbled around them, jagged hull scraps, frozen gases, asteroid shards. Kincaid wove through without glance. Talon dodged a spinning girder. His scopes painted nothing. No platform, just empty sector clutter. There, she said. A slab of rock loomed. She latched onto its side. A seam glowed, panel irised open. Inside, humming conduits, flickering hollows, a squat fusion core pulsing blue. Talon clamped beside her. It's active infrastructure, masked as void junk. He scanned furiously, readings spiked, stealth fields bending light, emissions scrubbed to cosmic background. How? The Coalition audited this border a decade ago. Empty void. Kincaid yanked a harness from the wall. Audit your own charts. We built this after. She strapped in. Sato core swap, now. Dr. Sato emerged from a side duct, toolkit clamped to his suit, compact human grease-smeared visor. On it, live loads spiking. Stealth fields flickering, swarm debris ionized the outer layer. Talon's frills flared. Hot swap under load, that's suicide, core breach will. Sato ignored him, grabbed the reactor casing. Vents hissed steam. He decoupled primary feeds, plasma arcs snapped across contacts. Talon flinched. Sato slid the old core free. It dangled, throbbing, one wrong twitch from meltdown. Stabilizers, Kincaid said flatly. Sato nodded, wedged braces. New core floated from the toolkit, fresh forged, still warm from fab printers. He rammed it home, circuits fused. Load transferred, lights stabilized, stealth field hummed back to full. Done, Sato said, wiped his visor. 6 minutes, field integrity 98%. Talon's sensors reeled, no meltdown, no panic, routine. You bypassed every safety protocol. Humans don't fear overload, Sato chuckled through suit comms. We fear boredom. He sealed the panel. Protocols are for amateurs. Kincaid unstrapped, gestured to a console. Watch, she tapped keys, a sensor dome irised open, fist-sized emitter array. Long-range Coalition probe feeds overlaid on hollow. Talon leaned in. Probes saw debris. Noise, natural void fluctuations. But here, layered grids, turrets, cutters, the emitter pulsed. Scans rewrote in real time, human code injecting random quantum echoes. Probes logged empty space. Mask rewrites incoming scans, Kincaid said. Turns our walls into galaxy's blind spot. Swarm breaches, we funnel them, herd, contain. Talon's primary hearts hammered. Data flooded his implants. Layered defenses, redundant traps. The empty sector a cage. Humans built it. Wardens not prey. Why hide this? He demanded. Coalition allies could. Allies? Kincaid snorted. You charted our border empty, declared it dead space, ignored our warnings. Now a swarm armada punches through your safe lanes. We contain, you audit. Talon's claw tapped his wristcom. Enough, Coalition command needed this. VOS priority burst, human sector active defense grid confirmed. Moss swarm contained via, static crackled. Transmission looped, rerouted, timestamp delayed hours. Auto-filtered as routine noise. Kincaid crossed her arms. Our net catches everything, delays alerts, buys us time. Talon snarled. Sabotage, I demand direct line. Denied, she said. You see too much already. Sato floated over, held out a tablet. Human waiver scrolled across it, dense legalese, liability clauses. Sign or evac analyst, breach incoming, that scar, swarm vanguard probing, main force behind, you stay, you suit up. Witness. Talon stared at the tablet. His frills quivered. Data screamed truth, humans leashed apex horrors. Competent, the galaxy's predators, caged pets. Coalition fleets crumbled against Moss Swarm. Humans swapped cores mid-breach, rewrote reality, Claws hesitated. Awe twisted his gut, skepticism cracked. Sign, Sato urged. Or jet home your call. Talon gripped the stylus. Scanned the scar ping again, stronger now, jaws forming in hyperspace. Breach imminent, he signed. Kincaid grinned. Welcome to the cage, analyst, gear up. Alarms whooped, platform trembled. Scopes lit red, moss-worm tendrils punching through. Dozens bigger than the Queen, hulls warped open, devourers spilled. Sato bolted to a launcher rack. Rail penetrators hot, bait drones deploying. Kincaid manned the console, turrets swiveled unseen, debris field awakening. Heard them central, sync traps primed. Talon strapped into a gunnery nest. Human interfaces clicked under his claws, intuitive overrides. Vector locked, firing. Beams lanced, swarm scattered, but a megaform burrowed deeper. Scar widened, something colossal stirred. Kincaid's voice sharpened. That's no queen, swarm lord, core world eater. Talon's scopes zoomed, Titanic Moss City sized, jaws hyperspace folded, ate a probe hole, alarms peaked, Sato cursed. Faber's spinning counters need 5 minutes. Take 3, Kincaid ordered. She piloted a cutter wing. Drones baited, turrets diverted escorts. Talon fired, hits splashed armor, minor, the Lord adapted, fields hardened, closed on the platform. Impact in 60, Talon yelled. Kincaid dodged debris. Sato now, drone spat, spine penetrator upgraded. Bigger, Talon-guided secondary feed. Steady, swarm guards lunged. He shredded too, Lord jaws snapped, missed. Adjust yaw, Kincaid snapped. Talon complied, drone burrowed, core strike. Detonation ripped. Lord split, chain reaction rippled, tendrils vaporized, silence. But scopes pinged deeper. Multiple scars, Armada core massing. Kincaid exhaled. Containment holds for now. Talon unstrapped, all locked his limbs. Humans didn't grandstand, they maintained. The cage tightened. Sato slapped his back. Good shot, analyst, next wave's patterning. Your data, Talon nodded. Shared feeds, coalition tactics layered in. Collaboration, Admiral Voss's voice burst through, delayed transmission finally cleared. Veyer, report, swarm overrun our flanks. Kincaid keyed open channel. Negative, Admiral, sector secure. Stand by for coordinates, we're the wardens. Talon watched her transmit, no fear, routine, but the deepest scar pulsed, something ancient, swarm progenitor, awakening. The real test loomed. Kincaid's finger stabbed the console. Waiver signed, analyst. Strap in, we're shifting to blister 3. Talon's claws clicked the harness. Ink-black waivers scrolled his overlay, coalition seals glowing green. He tapped accept. No turning back. The shuttle lurched, engines howling as it dove toward the platform's underbelly. Blister 3 jutted like a thorn from the human station. Talon squeezed through the hatch. Kincaid already buckled into the command throne, scopes live. Dr. Sato hunched over a Faber terminal, sparks flying from his welder. Scars dead ahead, Kincaid said. Progenitor's pulse hit critical. They'll breach in T-2. Talon slotted into the aux station. Feeds bloomed, a fractured hyperspace scar, veins of void pulsing like a wound. The Mossworm's armada massed beyond, silhouettes devouring light. Sato yanked his mask up. Anchors primed, call it. Kincaid's voice flattened. Ignite the line. Talon's scopes lit red. A string of mines along the border flared, not explosives, but micro-jump anchors, human trick. They warped local hyperspace, folding the scar's mouth into a noose. The corridor snapped shut behind the breach point. Talon felt the gravshift tug his gut. Sealed, no escape for anything that crossed. Alarms screamed. The scar tore open. The Mossworm erupted into real space, titanic hulls jagged with consumed wreckage. Progenitor at the van, a behemoth the size of a moonlet, maw-ringed in hyperspace-folded teeth. Billions of drones swarmed its flanks, learning algorithms churning. It slammed forward, straight into layered decoy signatures. Ghost fleets ignited on Talon's scopes. Human phantoms, perfect sensor echoes of battleships, carriers, tenders, the swarm lunged. Jaws clamped vacuum, drones burrowed into decoys. Explosions bloomed, but no wrecks, just chaff bursts scattering false debris. They're biting, Talon muttered. His tail flicked. Coalition fleets would have scattered or charged. Humans, baited, Kincaid nodded once. Drones out, pattern map now, Sato punched launch. 50 human drones streaked from the blister, tiny, unarmored scouts. No weapons, pure feed bait, the swarm adapted fast. Progenitor tendrils lashed. First drone vaporized, its death feed piping data straight to Talon. Neural net signatures logged, learning curve plotted. Second drone jinked, swarm drones pursued, mimicking the dodge. Talon overlaid the traces. They're copying vectors. Evasion pattern alpha. Third drone died. Feeds spiked, swarm algorithms rewired mid-consume. Talon's spines itched. Humans sacrificed them on purpose. Each pop refined the map. Loss rate climbing, they've got our micro-jump feints. Expected, Kincaid said. She vectored the blister deeper. Sato heard protocols green. Locked. Sato's fingers flew. Retreat vector feeding their hunger. Kincaid keyed fleet-wide. All units controlled pullback, blister lead, draw 'em in. The platform shuddered, engines flared reverse. Talon gripped his station as they retreated, slow, deliberate, not fleeing. Herding, swarms surged. Progenitors' maw widened, sucking decoys whole. False fleets winked out, luring deeper. Real human pickets peeled back in sync, turrets flashing just enough to sting. Talon tracked it. The sector's empty border unfolded on his overlay, not void, but a lattice. Anchors, decoys, kill zones layered like a spider's web. Humans built this. Calm, methodical. A swarm frigate breached the decoy shell, real this time. Kincaid's guns spoke. Rail slugs punched through. It tumbled, feeding more data. They're learning our fire cadence, Talon warned. His voice tightened. Voss's fleet orbited distant, safe but blind. Admirals demanding turnover. Ignore, Kincaid said. Sato, progenitor Sims. Running, Sato's screens flickered. Eats fleets in 3 jumps, ours, it'll choke on the cage. Talon watched Drone 17 die. Feed cut clean. Swarm now predicted drone spins, 80% hit rate. But humans adjusted. Next wave micro jumped inside swarm escorts. Suicide pops, inner patterns exposed, all coiled in Talon's chest. Coalition analysts called this space empty, wasted. Humans called it a pen. Progenitor bellowed, hyperspace scar ripples shaking the blister. Talon braced. Scans pierced its core, nested maws, endless hunger. Coalition dreadnoughts would have glassed planets to stop this. Humans invited it in. Pulling to secondary anchors, Kincaid announced. Blister dove into a nebula shroud, human-planted gas veils masking deeper traps. Swarm followed, ravenous, herded. Talon fired a probe cluster. Pings bounced, more scars ahead chained. This sector, it's a kill funnel. Kincaid's eyes stayed on scopes. Wardens don't advertise, Sato chuckled. Progenitors at 90% commit, feed at the midline ghosts. Decoys reignited, bigger fleet this time, swarm plunged. Talon saw the pattern lock. Humans mapped every adaptation, every bite. Voss's channel crackled again. Veyer, sector status, we're vectoring in. Negative, Admiral, Kincaid cut in. Stay flanks, we've got the gate. Talon glanced at her gate. The border wasn't breached. It was opened, wider, alarms spiked. Progenitor's vanguard shredded a picket wing. Drones died in waves now, but maps completed. Talon shared the full pattern. Coalition overlays merged seamless. Good work, Sato said. Swarms locked on our trail. Deeper they go, tighter the noose. Kincaid adjusted course. Blister threaded a debris field, swarm consumed wrecks from past containments. Talon spotted human markers, old anchors reactivated. Progenitor closed. Kilometers wide, it warped space. Talon targeted a weak seam, Sato's upgrades humming. Firing penetrators. Slugs lanced, minor dents, but data flowed. Retreat holding, Kincaid said. Herd complete at tertiary scar. Talon's scopes widened. Tertiary scar yawned, a dead hyperspace vein primed, anchors waited. The cage's heart, swarm vanguard piled in. Progenitor followed, more eclipsing stars. Kincaid ignited tertiary line, micro jumps folded, corridor irised shut, trapped. But scopes pinged beyond, nested signatures, swarm reinforcements massing outside. Progenitor thrashed, contained, but calling kin. Talon unstrapped, limbs heavy. How many times have you done this? Kincaid stood. Routine maintenance, she eyed the scar. Progenitors just the alpha, betas inbound. Sato fabbed fresh drones. Your data sealed it, analyst. Coalition sims slotted perfect. Talon nodded. All burned now. The galaxy saw empty space. Humans saw a ranch, predators in pens. Voss burst through. Veyer explained that was no border. It's a cage, Talon said. And we're inside with the beasts. Kincaid smirked. Wardens live here. Deeper scar pulsed. Progenitor roared. Betas tore through. Kincaid opened the next gate, wider still. The blister accelerated into the dark. Talon strapped back in. Swarm armada followed. Humans led the hunt. Talon gripped his console as the deck shuddered. Admiral Voss's flagship, the ironclad Asterisk, punched through the sector's outer veil. Coalition dreadnoughts followed in tight formation, engines flaring against the void. Talon's scopes lit up with transponder codes, 50 capital ships unannounced. Containment protocols active. Commander Kincaid's voice crackled over the emergency channel. Her warden's lash hung stationary amid faint human buoys. Admiral Voss, pull back to lane Alpha. Mossworm signatures inbound on your vector. Voss's response boomed, laced with static. Overridden, Commander. Coalition mandate supersedes local traffic control. Analyst Veyer, report to my bridge, now. Talon unstrapped. His claws clicked against the deck plates. The observer's eye asterisk, his audit shuttle trailed Kincaid's picket line. He sealed his vac suit and jetted across the gap. Docking clamps engaged with a thud. Coalition Marines waved him through. Voss loomed at the hollow table, scales gleaming under harsh lights. Shakiri Voss embodied Coalition brass, broad fins, command braid heavy on his shoulders. Veyer, your prelims called this sector empty, explained the welcoming committee. Talon synced his data pad. Hollow projections bloomed, weeks of scans, ghost echoes, human anchor fields. Not empty, Admiral, engineered. Humans route moss-worm migrations through scar lanes, hyperspace fractures they stabilize with gravitic nets. See the tertiary containment? Progenitor class trapped last cycle. Voss waved a fin. Human theater. They grandstand silence to hide weakness, play the recordings. Talon cued the feeds. Kincaid's voice filled the bridge, heard complete. Slugs dented maw hide, anchors snapped shut, a progenitor thrashed contained. Talon's own scopes from the audit, nested scars, baited traps. Impressive props, Voss snorted, but no fleet signatures, no defenses, they lure predators to soften them for us. He turned to his staff. Prep, strike wing, Gamma Lancers, full spread, target the swarm vanguard. Break all transit restrictions, flank their lead blister. Talon's vents flared. Admiral lanes are load-bearing, breaching risks cascade failure. Dismissed, analyst. Voss's eyes narrowed. Or do you prefer human babysitters? Launch klaxons wailed. Talon retreated to an observation blister. Lancers streaked out, plasma lances primed, shields hot. They ignored the faint lane markers cutting across dim human grids. Moss-worm vanguard loomed, kilometer-wide blisters pulsing with ingested hulls, tendrils questing. Coalition weapons bit first. Plasma coruscated, blisters ruptured, spewing debris. Cheers erupted on Voss's bridge feed. Then adaptation hit. Talon's scopes zoomed. Maw hulls shimmered, consumed lance alloys reshaping. Counterfire lanced back, tuned to Coalition frequencies. 2 Lancers vaporized, the rest scattered. They're turning, Talon barked into the open channel. Brighter signatures drawing them, your wings emissions, Voss cut him off. Form up, concentrated barrage, the swarm pivoted, not toward Kincaid's dim sentinels. Straight for the ironclad asterisk-s glare, floodlights, sensor blooms, engine wash, blisters accelerated, maws dilating, Kincaid's voice sliced through. Emergency lockout initiated. Talon felt it, a shiver in the deck. His shuttle's relays flickered. Coalition command net went dark. What? Voss roared. On auxiliary scopes, Talon tracked Kincaid's corvette. She ghosted toward the sector relay, a human obelisk unlit until now. Drones swarmed from her bays. They latched onto Voss's uplink node. Kincaid's suitcam feed patched in, uninvited. She floated at the relay's core, plasma torch in grip. Sorry, Admiral, can't let you flood the pens. Sparks flew. She severed the fatline cable, physical cut, no overrides. Coalition fleet controls froze mid-maneuver. Lancers hung helpless. Maw blisters engulfed the stragglers. Hulls crunched, the progenitor blister bait from earlier belched reinforcements. Betas piled in, drawn by the noise. Talon strapped into an escape pod, his shuttle bucked as grav waves hit. Kincaid's voice returned calm. Analyst synced to my net. Sato's prepped redirects. Doctor. Ivo Sato appeared on split screen, face calm amid a drone Faber's hum. Veyer's data locked lanes. Voss broke 3, rerouting now. Talon's boards lit with human overlays, scar maps, anchor loads. Coalition ships drifted, engines cold. Maw signatures swarmed the bright spots, Voss's fleet. They're targeting the loudest mistake, Talon muttered. His claws flew across controls. He patched Voss's dreadnoughts into dim protocols, throttle emissions, hug lanes. Voss's bridge feed showed chaos. Who cut my uplink? Kincaid, routine maintenance, she replied. Her corvette danced through debris, laying fresh anchors. Stay dim, Admiral, or feed the beasts. A beta blister grazed the asterisk ironclad asterisk. Talon saw it shear a frigate in half. Consumed crews fueled the next adaptation. But Kincaid's anchors hummed. Tertiary scar yawned ahead, baited deeper. Sato's drones zipped past Talon's pod. Penetrators reloaded, your seam data Veyer firing. Slugs punched the beta's flank. Dents formed. Data streamed, weak points confirmed. Retreat holding, Kincaid said. Heard to quaternary. Talon's scopes widened, nested signatures beyond the scar, swarm armada massing. Progenitor thrashed inside, calling kin. He unstrapped, limbs heavy. How? Routine, Kincaid cut in. Her ship accelerated. Betas inbound, lead the hunt. Voss's voice broke through a jury-rigged line. Vayer, explain this. Talon patched his scans live. Cage, Admiral, humans built it. We're inside with the beasts. Kincaid's smirk ghosted the feed. Wardens live here. Deeper scar pulsed. Progenitor roared. Betas tore through. Talon strapped back in as Kincaid opened the next gate, wider still. The blister accelerated into the dark. Swarm armada followed. Humans led the hunt. Talon's pod slotted into Kincaid's bay. Clamps locked. He stumbled onto her bridge. Sato nodded from engineering alcove, fabbing more drones. Kincaid stood at command, eyes on the scar. Quaternaries primed, she said. Voss's fleet dimmed just in time. Your override saved half. Talon's vents cycled all. Coalition sims slotted perfect, his data their execution. You planned for overrides? Sato chuckled. Every audit, predators adapt, so do we. Voss's asterisk ironclad trailed now, emissions throttled. Lancers reformed under Kincaid's net. Betas piled into the scar, lured by progenitor cries. Talon synced final feeds. Anchor fields irised, corridor snapped shut, trapped, but scopes pinged beyond. Reinforcements massed, gammas full armada. The galaxy's empty border flexed. Kincaid eyed the next seam. They never learn, light up the quintery. Sato's drones hummed to life. Talon targeted weak points. Slugs prepped. Voss patched in, voice edged. Kincaid, this is insanity. Yield command. She ignited the line. Micro-jumps folded space. Wardens don't yield, Admiral. Follow or feed. The swarm plunged deeper. Humans herded. Talon gripped his station. The cage held for now. But the armada's edge breached a progenitor echo. Fresh roars echoed. Something bigger stirred. Kincaid's eyes narrowed. Alpha swarm, full migration. Talon's scopes locked. Kilometers wide. Stars eclipsed. Sato fabbed penetrators. Data sealed it, Vayer. Fire when ready. The hunt deepened. Predators poured in. Humans waited calm. Voss's fleet dimmed fully. All rippled his bridge feed. Talon fired. Slugs lanced true. The galaxy trembled. Deeper still, the true cage yawned. Talon slammed the relay key. Coalition vessels, this is Vayer. Execute Kincaid's lanes now. Pull back to markers Alpha 2 through Delta 9. Voss's voice crackled over the bridge net. Vayer, you traitorous. Admiral, the maw eats doubters first. Talon's claws stabbed the console. Feeds showed Voss's asterisk ironclad veering hard, lancers trailing in her wake. Coalition hulls streaked clear of the scar's maw, safe, for the moment. Kincaid's face filled his primary holoscreen. Her eyes locked on his. Good call, analyst. Sato, light the false sun. Aye, Commander. Dr. Sato's voice hummed calm from the engineering bay feed. Drones ejected in a silver swarm. They bloomed at the scar's heart, a blazing heat signature 10 times a star's fury. Infrared flares mimicked a dying progenitor's death throes. Talon's scopes lit up. Maw betas surged. Shipeters twisted through hyperspace rifts, jaws unhinging toward the lure. They're biting, he muttered. His tail lashed. Data streams confirmed. The pack ignored coalition stragglers, fixated on the bait. Sato patched in visuals. False suns tuned to their chemosensors. Progenitor pheromones, heat bloom, distress pulses. They can't resist. The swarm poured in. Hulls the size of asteroids grazed the scar's edges. Talon tracked their vectors, perfect alignment. The empty sector's contours sharpened in his overlays, prelayed gravitic contours, invisible until now. A kill volume, meters wide, kilometers deep. Kincaid nodded once. Shear plates hot, compress. Talon felt the asterisk auditor asterisk S deck shiver. Farther out, anchor fields hummed to life. Massive plates, human forged, buried in the void, activated. Gravitational shears sliced space. The kill volume narrowed. Maw betas crumpled at the edges, hulls folding like foil. Screams echoed through comms, swarm cries, progenitors wailing as progenitors compressed into paste. Talon gripped his harness. Volume down to 30%. They're piling up. Keep feeding data, Kincaid said. Sato penetrators away. Drones zipped into the funnel's throat. Sato's voice stayed level. Penetrators locked, breaching progenitor cores. Explosions rippled inside the crush. Maw vessels vented atmosphere, ichor spraying into the void. Betas thrashed, but the shear held. Humans shaped the trap like welders forming steel. Talon's secondary feed pinged. A coalition cruiser Vanguard's Echo limped at the scar's fringe, hull breached, power flickering. Maw drones swarmed it, chewing through armor. Marines launching, Kincaid announced. Shuttles rocketed from her warden's grasp. Human figures in void suits jetted toward the wreck, mag boots clamping hulls under particle fire. Talon zoomed in. Marines cut through a rent with plasma torches. Swarm drones latched on, mandibles gnashing. One Marine spun, shotgun barking. A drone exploded in green mist. They dragged limp forms, coalition crew back to the shuttle. No pause, no retreat. His vents cycled hot. These humans boarded under fire, dragged aliens from the jaws. Routine. His people would have glassed the wreck from afar. Voss's ironclad fed stabilized now, Marines hauling the last survivor aboard. Veyer, that was... The Admiral trailed off. Talon didn't answer, his scopes locked on the funnel. Mass compressed to a third its span. Leading edge glowed red-hot from friction. Kincaid's finger hovered over the trigger glyph. Detonation sequence armed. Veyer, confirm Armada status. Alpha swarm breaching outer seam, Talon reported. Full migration mass 80% committed. Gamma's trailing. She smiled faintly. Then we burn the head, firing. The funnel ignited. Fusion lances hidden in the shear plate speared the core. Compressed maw flesh met plasma streams. The leading mass flash vaporized. Inert slag bloomed outward, a cooling cloud of debris. Talon's alarms blared triumph. Scopes cleared in the kill volume. Betas slagged, progenitors reduced to atoms. The alpha swarm faltered, progenitors screeching retreat signals. But fresh pings hammered his console. Gammas accelerated. The Armada's tail-end reinforcements punched through a secondary scar. Hulls eclipsed stars, bigger, hungrier. Kincaid's voice cut sharp. Sato, spin up the Quintary lattice. Veyer, plot their funnel path. Aye. Sato's drones redeployed, weaving gravitic webs. Talon's claws flew across keys. Data from audits flooded in, human contingency layers nested traps. The sector wasn't empty. It was a gauntlet. Predators lured, herded, crushed. Voss patched through, voice steady now. Kincaid, my lancers stand ready, vectors. She relayed without hesitation. Flank Delta seam, Veyer's got your lanes. Collaboration sealed it. Coalition fire lanced out, slugs punching maw flanks. Humans herded the survivors deeper. Talon watched the alpha progenitor, a kilometer-wide horror, thrash into the Quintary lattice. Sato's false sun reignited brighter. Shear plates irised wider, funneling the beast. Marines from the grasp jetted to another coalition wreck, a frigate venting crew. They boarded amid drone swarms, shotguns roaring, hauling survivors pod by pod. Talon's feed caught a Marine's visor cam, calm eyes behind the plate, hauling a limp K-Zari officer over debris. Humans didn't charge. They built the charge. Kincaid triggered the second compression. Grav shears bit deeper. The alpha progenitor buckled, spawning drones in panic. Sato's penetrators burrowed in, cracking its core. Talon relayed fresh coordinates. Voss's fleet fired in sync, lance volleys shredding Gamma escorts. The Maw Armada fragmented, pieces slamming into preset kill volumes. Detonation rocked the sector. Another slag cloud expanded. Alphas slagged. The migration stalled, progenitors broadcasting surrender pheromones. Silence fell on the nets. Talon's scopes scanned clean sectors. Debris fields cooled. Coalition hulls reformed under Kincaid's net. Voss's voice broke through. Commander, Warden, we stand down. Your sector audit passes. Kincaid chuckled. No audits needed, Admiral, just data. Sato patched in. Lattice recycling, next false sun prepped. Talon leaned back, vents easing. The galaxy called this empty. A trap, humans the wardens, he'd chosen right, but outer scopes pinged faint. A progenitor echo deeper in the void, something ancient stirred. The true Maw heart. Kincaid's eyes narrowed on his feed. They always have a queen, like the tertiary cage. Talon targeted anew. The hunt continued. Predators poured toward the yawn. Humans waited. Talon jabbed a claw at Kincaid's hollow feed. Commander, your sector's emptiness funnels predators like chum into grinders. Admit it, this is no border, it's a cage. Kincaid leaned into her pickup, eyes steady behind the command deck's glow. She wiped sweat from her brow with a gauntleted hand. No flinch, no denial. Analyst Veyer, strap in, live map, full overlay. Her signal patched through. Talon's console bloomed with sectors, vast, star-speckled voids crisscrossed by faint grav lanes. Red traces pulsed, moss-swarm migrations centuries old. Blue lines diverged them, herding packs into black zones marked Kill Volume. Talon's vents hissed. You built this. Redirected every incursion. First contact Ma-83 Scout Wings. Kincaid tapped a node. A sim replayed, hulking progenitors shearing hulls, drones swarming escapes. We mapped their scars, hyperspace rifts they spawn from, lattice grids bend lanes. Predators follow the easy path, straight to shears. He traced a fresh route, the armada they'd just slagged. And this one, coalition fleets chased it blind. Your audit flagged the breach. She zoomed to dead zones, debris clouds, cooling hulks. Tertiary cage lit on your coords, progenitor echoes next. We contain, you witnessed. Talon's claws tightened on his harness. Data screamed truth, no panic in her voice. Routine. Humans treated galaxy eaters like hull breaches. Alarms pinged. Admiral Voss's flagship hailed. Talon patched in. The Khazari Admiral's frills quivered on split screen. Warden Kincaid, Analyst Veyer, battle nets confirm, maw fragments neutralized, coalition losses minimal. Kincaid nodded. Admiral, treaty addendum ready, sign it. Voss's eyes darted to side scrolls. Talon's feed mirrored, clauses binding coalition drives to human lane protocol. No independent jumps, vectors locked to verified paths. Placing fleets under your wardenship. Voss's voice cracked. A status predator now leashed. Keeps everyone alive. Kincaid's tone stayed flat. Maw learns by eating, they map us through you, protocol hides the lanes. Voss hesitated, Talon held breath. Coalition pride clashed with fresh slag fields. The Admiral's claw stamped digital seal. Signed. Effective immediate. Screens flickered. Coalition drives realigned, funneling into blue traces. Voss cut feed. His frills slumped in defeat. Kincaid smirked. Good, Sato, mask up. Dr. Sato's voice crackled from engineering bays. Reactivating now, sensor lattice syncing. Talon watched overlays shift. Outer beacons dimmed. Sector-wide emissions dropped to null. To galactic scopes, voids returned empty black, silent as tombs. False suns recycling, Sato added. Predator bait prepped for next echo. Talon's console logged it all, mask restored. Emptiness locked, the galaxy's fear justified. Humans didn't conquer predators, they farmed them. He pulled audit files, final report template glowed, claws flew across keys. Xenostrategic audit human sector, he typed. Designation, containment zone. Purpose, predatory vector management via grav-lattice redirection and kill volumes. Breach protocols integrate allied assets under Warden command. Recommendation, coalition archives label containment, do not disturb. Unauthorized transit risks assimilation. He hesitated at Warden. Kincaid's title now official. Humans humble jailers of the void. Submit pinged. Archives updated. Coalition nets buzzed with alerts. Talon's vents eased. Data 1. Fear debunked. No, redirected. Kincaid's feed lingered. Analyst, hunt's not over. Tertiary ping strengthening. Queen Echo inbound. Talon checked scopes. Faint rift scarred deeper black. Progenitor signatures multiplied. The maw heart stirred, ancient and vast. Relaying vectors, he said. Claws targeted anew. Her eyes lit. Copy, light the cage. Drives hummed. Predators poured toward the yawn. Humans waited. Talon locked in. But outer relays whispered. Another scar tore open, far beyond charts. Not maw, something older, hungrier. Kincaid's voice sharpened. Veyer, new contact, ping Voss, Talon hailed. The Admiral's face returned, frills rigid. Analyst, fresh rift, unknown signature. Talon's scopes burned. Protocol, Voss glanced at treaty. Human lanes, Warden lead. Kincaid cut in. Confirmed, Sato, spool primaries, Veyer eyes on. Talon gripped console. The emptiness hid more, always more. Humans built for it. Sato patched schematics. Penetrators upgraded anti-queen cores. Lattice at 110%, ready. Predator swarms accelerated, drones blotting stars. Coalition lances charged in sync. Talon fed micro-adjusts. Grav shears whined live. Kincaid triggered, the yawn snapped shut. Slag bloomed anew, silence fell, scopes cleared mostly. Deeper ping throbbed, ancient rift pulsed. A shadow queen uncoiled, tendrils probing lanes. Talon's claws itched. Data lied before, now it screamed. She's mapping us, Kincaid said. Redirect live. Talon plotted, blues bent. The queen veered into the heart cage, Voss's fleet flanked. Firing, lances struck true, progenitor hull cracked. Drones spawned, then burst under penetrators. Sato whooped. Core breached, recycling. The ancient hulk buckled. Pheromones wailed surrender, rift sealed, Talon exhaled, sector cooled, mask held, Kincaid leaned back. Clean kill, audit closed? Not yet. Talon eyed the void, faint echoes lingered. Archives need update, multiple queens, infinite migrations. She chuckled, welcome to the watch, analyst. Voss signed off humbled. Coalition drives ghosted lanes. Talon filed addendum. Containment, eternal vigil. But scopes pinged again. Ultra-deep scar, not predator, builder, humans waited. Talon targeted, the trap endured. Deeper voids hid architects. The galaxy's empty lock rattled. Something knocked from inside.